Urban daily life plus single female lead+no system+no rebirth+little sweet text+mutual support+mutual healing+simultaneously reaching the peak of life. The three good youth, who had just entered society, planned to propose to his girlfriend who had been in love for 3 years. Coincidentally, he was called to the hospital at noon that day. My girlfriend kept it a secret from him and even proposed to temporarily separate for a period of time. Li Dongyang didn't understand until he sent soup to Zhang at night, and he finally understood. Feeling heartbroken, he directly rented out his newly renovated wedding room, only to unexpectedly attract a superstar named Xian. The next day, the two of them started living together, from initially looking at each other out of sync, to later helping each other achieve success. Later, Shuang Xiaoyu achieved great success and pursued Li Dongyang crazily. "Sorry, he's already my person," Xian opened her heart and said to Zhang Qiangqiang. Years later, on a large-scale variety show. "Director Li, how did you catch up with our super double actress back then?" Li Dongyang rubbed his head and said, "She got me drunk. And then. You understand." Chapter 001 has an additional spider. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You can marry me if you want. Do you have a car? Do you have a room? After struggling for so many years, I am still a poor person. My fate is naturally suitable for being a wealthy person. Let's break up, Li Dongyang. On the table, Li Dongyang was excited. That's right, he just had a dream. Dreamed of his girlfriend breaking up with him. But fortunately, it was a dream. How could their love be so great? It's raining again. On the way to the hospital, it's not good every time we encounter such weather. Li Dongyang made several phone calls to his girlfriend, all of which were busy. I don't know why, but these past few days, Shuang has always been mysterious. I always like to go outside to answer phone calls. But Li Dongyang didn't think too much either. Because their relationship is very good. Evening. He plans to propose to Zhang, give him a surprise, and end their 4-year relationship. Just as Li Dongyang was longing for his married life. His phone rang. He was admitted to the hospital for appendicitis and asked to go quickly. The originally intermittent light rain suddenly became rainstorm. After hanging up the phone, Li Dongyang rushed out of the company without saying a word and stopped a taxi downstairs, rushing to the hospital in a hurry. Why did surgery come to the gynecology department? Li Dongyang was puzzled. A pair of best friends had a slightly evasive gaze and dared not look directly into Li Dongyang's eyes. Just come to the hospital and have a check-up together. My best friend gave a brief explanation and handed the medical record to Li Dongyang before hurriedly leaving. In the corridor, Li Dongyang was left alone. 3 gestational sacs. Before Li Dongyang could finish reading the B.ultrasound, he heard the nurses shout from the medical room. Who is the family member of Shuang? Come over here for a moment. There was a 40-year-old female doctor sitting in the medical room, and even when she saw Li Dongyang wearing a mask, she showed disgust. Men nowadays are really irresponsible, the female doctor shook her head. Triplets. Li Dongyang automatically filtered out other words and only heard a few words about triplets. Are you both pregnant? I'm going to be a dad now. The excited emotions almost made him fly. Family members, family members. Where are the families of Shuang? Come and take care of the patient. Li Dongyang followed the doctor into a health room with red eyes. Is this the feeling of being a dad? There are 3 beds here, and the 2 adjacent beds have already been occupied. Both men and women are very inexperienced, and it seems that they have not taken any safety measures to steal forbidden fruits. The girl in one of the beds looked weak with her boyfriend's company, but when the boy turned his back to help her fetch water, the girl took her phone and called her best friend. The child has already been beaten, and only this kind of idiot would be the scapegoat. Alright, I won't tell you anymore, he will come back soon. It's not good to hear. Li Dongyang couldn't help but tug at his mouth. Perhaps as a male, he felt regretful for the young man just now. He took on this game. This one. A pair of people stepped off the operating table and tightly closed their eyes, twisting their faces to one side. Dead and lifeless. She doesn't know how to face Li Dongyang. But this opportunity is rare, she doesn't want to bury her youth in vain like this. Upon learning that he was going to become a father, Li Dongyang was as happy as a child. The more it is like this, the more uncomfortable it becomes to have a double heart. She didn't even know how to tell Li Dongyang about having her child beaten up. Dongyang, I received an invitation from a production team to go to Hengdian to film next month. You know, I waited for this opportunity for 2 years. I have already auditioned and the producer is very satisfied. They asked me to play the lead actress. So I hope you can understand me. Perhaps because he was too happy, Li Dongyang had not yet heard the implied meaning of Yoshwang. This is a good thing. Li Dongyang said. But I'm pregnant, said Yoshwang as he pursed his lips and hesitated to speak. If you want to seize this opportunity, you must give up the child. Li Dongyang stopped touching his hands with double foreheads. What does it mean? Have you not understood yet? Yoshwang's face was pale and powerless, which made Li Dongyang feel very distressed. I took the child away. The air fell into a dead silence. At this moment, Li Dongyang's mood is like riding a roller coaster. I woke up my nose, the corners of my mouth twitched incessantly, and it took me a while to control my emotions before turning around. I grabbed Yoshwang's hand and smiled. This kind of joke is not funny. Dongyang, I'm sorry for not notifying you in advance. This opportunity is rare, it may soar to the sky. If lost, I'm afraid I won't have such a good opportunity in my life. Li Dongyang remained silent with red eyes. The light rain outside is still pattering. After a long silence, Li Dongyang spoke up. When will we leave? I'll see you off. No need, someone from the company is coming to pick me up. Shuang Busy stopped me. Can you keep your body healthy before walking? Li Dongyang asked tentatively. This opportunity is rare, and I don't want to miss it. I feel more at ease joining the group earlier. Do you not even want your life for the sake of opportunity? After saying these words, Li Dongyang continued to remain silent. Turn around and leave. Coming back again with a bunch of medicine in hand. At this moment, his heart was full of wounds and holes, and he didn't know what words to use to describe his feelings at this moment. I want to cry but can't cry. Pass a medical bag to Yoshwang and say, take these, they are medicine for regulating your body. A total of 7 days. After the child is gone, you can still be pregnant. He knew that having a couple at this moment should also be very uncomfortable. After all, they loved each other and pretended to be relaxed. On the hospital bed, a couple bit their lips and hesitated to speak. Her heart was entangled for a long time. Finally, he couldn't help but say, Dongyang, why don't we separate first? What does separate mean? Are you breaking up? Li Dongyang didn't speak. Reason tells him not to lose his temper. Just a simple response. Whatever. This made Yoshwang's heart suddenly fall into a low valley. At this moment, she seemed to feel that Li Dongyang didn't love her anymore. She found a good excuse for herself, which suddenly made her heart feel a little better. Half an hour later, Li Dongyang helped Yoshwang out of the hospital. He wanted to send Yoshwang back, but Yoshwang refused. The rain is still dripping, making people feel particularly dull and oppressive. After seeing off Yoshwang, Li Dongyang continued to return to work at the company. Recently, the company has a short drama called Warm Sun in Winter, Sugar in Summer. The editor-in-chief has asked Li Dongyang to take over. Because he is a newcomer, he is not yet qualified to work as an editor in a major drama group, so he can only start by playing around in web dramas with a familiar face. He knew it was the teacher's intention, otherwise he wouldn't even be able to get the script for the web drama with his current qualifications. Busy work can numb oneself and temporarily stop thinking about these annoying things. But what about after work? All colleagues have left, except for Li Dongyang sitting alone at the desk, stunned. Watching the jewelry box on the table is so dazzling. Today, he originally planned to propose to Yoshwang. I didn't expect God played a big joke on him. At this moment, he felt that he would never be in love again in his lifetime. Li Dongyang was stunned while holding a diamond ring. There is nothing wrong with having a double choice. He is not wrong either, his fault lies in opportunities grinding people. What's the point of keeping the wedding room since we have left together? I still have to pay off 4,500 yuan in mortgage payments every month. If it weren't for his parents supporting him, he would have starved to death long ago with his small salary. If it's empty, then rent out the house. Subsequently, Xin posted their wedding room directly on the rental website. His requirements are not high, regardless of gender, but he must love cleanliness. Perhaps due to the cozy decoration and the good location, a stranger called in less than 10 minutes after hanging it online. Li Dongyang answered the phone, and the other person was a woman who was not very old to hear the voice. But from her accent, you can tell that this woman is a senior sister. He said he would come over tomorrow noon to see the house and ask if he is at home. Tomorrow weekend, it's just a vacation. There is a presence. Okay, I'll be there tomorrow at 12 o'clock. There are 2 photos. Chapter 002 is hilarious. That person is actually myself. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Get off work at night. Li Dongyang looked at the empty room and didn't know what to do for a moment. Busy work can make people forget everything, but when he has free time, his mind is filled with the pale face after hitting the child. I feel sorry for those 3 unborn children. What is wrong is reality. After work, Li Dongyang sat in the office for a long time. His mind was completely blank. I keep thinking back to the sentence you said, let's part ways for now. She remained silent when asked if she wanted to break up. I didn't deny it, nor did I say it was. Anyway, Li Dongyang's heart is really uncomfortable now. He is someone who loves both, the kind he loves to the bone. Li Dongyang sat in the office for a long time, until it gradually darkened outside and all his colleagues left. Under the urging of the security guard, he finally left the office. Before, there was Zhang, and after work, she went to her rented house to take her out to eat. After finishing their meal, the 2 of them habitually pressed the road for a while. At that time, they always felt that the road was very short and it didn't take long to end. When leaving, some people would act coquettishly and throw themselves into his arms, only to reluctantly leave after walking the short road again. He has prepared the house and decorated it in a style he likes, with warm colors. As soon as he enters, he feels very warm inside. The diamond ring is also ready, although it's not big, but it's the 10,000 yuan he saved up for half a year to buy for her. Xiao is a bit small, but he just wants to give this girl a warm home and give her a foothold in this unfamiliar city. Unconsciously, Li Dongyang walked to the downstairs of a rental house with double rent. Thinking that Yoshwang had beaten a child today and should make up for it, Li Dongyang turned around and turned back. I came to a small shop that specializes in making soup. They often come here to eat it, cheap and authentic. Most importantly, these chickens are all raised by the owner themselves, safe and non-toxic. So every day after work, you can see many people queuing up here to buy soup, and sometimes they just queue up here for a few minutes. Over time, I naturally became familiar with the landlady here. The boss's wife is in her 40s, about the same age as Li Dongyang's mother. This shop has good business and only works at 7 o'clock every day to get off work on time. Seeing Li Dongyang coming, the landlady laughed heartily. Hey, young man, why didn't I see you bringing your beautiful girlfriend over for soup today? The landlady smiled, although her face was wrinkled, she looked very kind, just like his mother. He stood at the entrance of the shop feeling a bit wooden. I only pulled my thoughts back when I heard the boss's voice. She is sick and at home. The landlady gave a simple nod and looked at Li Dongyang with a smile. Today we'll still have black chicken soup, right? I'll keep the last cup for you. It's hard to find a young man like you who is so careful now. If only I had a daughter, I would definitely find you as my son.in.law. What a pity. The landlady hesitated to speak after finishing these words. I've packed it for you, and there are 2 extra pieces of chicken inside. While taking care of your girlfriend, you also need to take care of yourself. It looks like you've lost weight like a monkey. Hurry up and don't make the girl wait in a hurry. Li Dongyang nodded and paid, carrying a cup of black chicken soup, walked towards the path they often walked along. He couldn't rest assured and was worried about whether Yoshuang had eaten or taken care of himself. Just as he was not paying attention, a BMW X6 turned in from the intersection. Fortunately, Li Dongyang reacted quickly and stopped his foot in time to avoid a car accident. He is no stranger to luxury cars appearing in such single apartments. Previously, when Li Dongyang takes a walk with Yoshuang, he always sees those young girls wearing revealing clothes being brought back by luxury cars. You can tell with your toes what these girls do. At that time, some even said that these women didn't even want their dignity for money, and Li Dongyang laughed at her. If every girl were as innocent as her, wouldn't the world be peaceful? At this moment, the two always giggled in perfect agreement. Because this kind of thing will never fall on them. Li Dongyang walked along the narrow path of the past, carrying black chicken soup, with a heart full of double. When he walked downstairs, he found that the BMW car that had almost hit him just now happened to be parked on the lower floor of the unit with double occupancy. Li Dongyang's heart was filled with slander. I don't know which idiot is also a green-haired turtle. The car door opened, and a successful man aged 35 to 6 got out of the car. The man walked around to the passenger seat to help open the car door. First, he extended a straight long leg from the co-pilot, and then a tall woman emerged from the car with her back facing Li Dongyang. He looks familiar with this back figure. The closer he gets, the more anxious his heart becomes. When he approached, the BMW had already left, and the woman standing in front of him was actually his girlfriend. The black chicken soup in my hand fell to the ground with a bang, and fresh soup spilled all over the ground. Dongyang is not what you think, I have nothing to do with him, explained Yoshuang. He is my investor. Tonight, the director's team is just having dinner. Li Dongyang did not respond. He clenched his fists tightly, his nails piercing deep into his flesh without even realizing it. Everything just now is vivid in my mind. The two of them hugged each other and kissed each other. Are you saying it's okay? Did you sleep with him? At first, the couple nodded and then shook their heads. Seeing all of this, Li Dongyang understood everything. Dongyang, I'm sorry, I really love you. I got drunk that day, and I really didn't mean to. At this moment, no matter how you explained it, Li Dongyang didn't hear a word. In his mind, there were constantly images of couples indulging under the crotch of other men, and his heart felt as if it was being grabbed by something. Did you sleep with someone else and tell them it's nothing? What is the logical thinking behind this? He can't be as open as she is. Li Dongyang's eyes turned crimson as he pointed to the crying double-faced person and asked, is that why you don't let me give you a ride? How much Li Dongyang loves, how much his heart hurts now. Dongyang, I really didn't mean to. Yoshuang still wanted to explain. Can you tell me? What is intentional? Is it intentional to make me green in front of me? This was his first hysterical time with Yoshuang in 3 years. Did you also sleep out this female lead? There is no rebuttal from Jian Yoshuang. Li Dongyang's heart was completely cold. He wished he hadn't come today and hadn't seen this scene. He felt uncomfortable in his heart, feeling that if he didn't leave again, he would probably suffocate. Dongyang, I really love you. I really want to keep those 3 children, please forgive me, okay? How about I give birth to a little monkey for you when I become famous? Li Dongyang didn't answer, his whole body seemed to have lost its soul, even though he struggled on the edge of pain, neither of them could return to their former state. On the same road, he felt that he had walked a particularly long day. Li Dongyang lost his mind and unknowingly entered a bar. Chapter 003. Childhood Sweethearts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the bar. He drank heavily while waiting for his only friend in this city, Sugar Heart. The men and women who drink here both show emptiness and loneliness in their eyes, and the main purpose of coming here is to release their desires. There are many people who engage in one-night stands here. With his appearance, several tech-savvy guys have already approached him before sitting in the bar for 10 minutes. But Li Dongyang is a self-disciplined man. He doesn't like women who can sell their souls for the sake of sexual desire. Who can guarantee that this woman won't get sick? The night of forgetting oneself. The lights are red and the wine is green. The whole lobby is filled with the smell of perfume and tobacco. Li Dongyang sat silently, watching the crowds coming and going. There are many young people here. Most of them are students aged 18 to 9 and workers in their early 20s. Because older people already have wives and children, they don't have any spare money to hang out here. It is said that alcohol can numb the nerves. But it is also a tomb of fighting spirit. Li Dongyang sat in the corner by the window, took out a bag of yellow crane tower, took out one from inside, and put it in his mouth. Watching the flickering lights and the wriggling body on the dance floor seemed like seeing erosion. Perhaps this is a way for young people to find fun and numb themselves. At this moment, a woman wearing a lace skirt came to Li Dongyang's side. Taking off the half-burned cigarette in Li Dongyang's hand, he threw his handbag on the table in displeasure. Angrily rebuked, Li Dongyang, didn't you propose to Yoshwang today? Why did you run to this bar alone? Sugar Heart lifted her long hair and sat opposite Li Dongyang, taking out a cigarette from the cigarette box placed on the table and putting it in her mouth. I was heartbroken. What? Are you heartbroken? Tang Xin repeated with a cigarette in her mouth and her teeth unclear. The cigarette in its mouth sways up and down with the Sugar Heart's mouth. Upon hearing these words, Sugar Heart was shocked. Taking out the cigarette from his mouth and staring at Li Dongyang, he couldn't believe it and said, "Aren't you two ready to get married?" Li Dongyang remained silent. A couple received an invitation from the production team to play the role of the female lead. This is a good thing. Isn't acting her dream? If the opportunity comes, we must seize it. Does this have anything to do with your breakup? No big deal, wait for this script to be completed. You can also get married. Li Dongyang took a sip of wine and gave a bitter smile, saying, some people say they want to be apart for a while. In Li Dongyang's opinion, this is the meaning of breaking up. Sugar Heart picked up the lighter and lit the unlit cigarette with a snap. I took a shallow sip. Disgusted and said, this cigarette has a strong aftertaste, so it's better for ladies to smoke. Then he pressed out the cigarette and put it in the ashtray. Li Dongyang saw Sugar Heart smoking and asked in confusion, when did you learn to smoke? Tangxin didn't answer, just let out a sigh. Avoid the topic of Li Dongyang and continue speaking. She said that separation is not a breakup. I thought what was wrong with you and called me out in a hurry. Alright, stop drinking. She's going to act, not coming back. Li Dongyang fell silent once again. I have a premonition that we may never be able to go back in time after this separation. Tang Xin didn't know how to respond to Li Dongyang after hearing these words. He also fell silent. The women in this world are not dead anymore. There are really no women to marry you. I'll marry you. Li Dongyang was delighted to hear this. He knew that Sugar Heart was joking with him. You're marrying me, your wealthy second-generation husband won't work hard with me. Men can be millions, but you are the only one on the bamboo horse. Don't think too much, you drank too much, I'll take you home. I believe there will definitely be a pair coming back to find you. During this period, you work hard and don't think about anything. Call me if you have something to do. Li Dongyang drank half a dozen beer before Sugar Heart arrived. He drank half a dozen more after coming here for a while. You should know that Li Dongyang usually only has 2 bottles of beer, and today he just dried a dozen. Tang Xian didn't want to be so tormented and got up to the bar to pay the bill. Then, he dragged Li Dongyang, who was as heavy as a pig, onto his Audi Q5. It was already 1 o'clock in the morning to deliver Li Dongyang home. Tang Xian was afraid that Li Dongyang would vomit and block his trachea, so he deliberately stacked 2 pillows together and gave him an antidote. He also placed a glass of honey water at the bedside before leaving the community with peace of mind. She grew up in the same yard as Li Dongyang, and this guy is good at everything except for his stubborn temper. Yoshuang is his first love, and if it really breaks up, I don't know when his wounds will heal. Downstairs, Tang Xian turned her head and looked towards the 8th floor. Her fair skin, slender limbs, and the most enviable pair of long legs were all there. After taking a few steps, she still couldn't let go and turned back. Seeing Li Dongyang sleeping soundly, he finally drove back to his husband's villa with peace of mind. Along the way, Sugar Heart's phone kept ringing. It was her husband who called. You don't have to think about it, you know what he wants to do. Probably questioning where she went so late. Sugar Heart was a model before falling in love with songjemming. With its own advantages, it has flourished in Wancheng. They met at a commercial performance. This man is good-looking and is willing to take action against Sugar Heart. Not only did he give her a luxury car and diamonds, but he also took good care of her with care and concern. Pick her up to and from work on time every day. In the eyes of friends, songjemming is a peerless good boyfriend. These days lasted for a year and a half. Until one morning when I received a phone call and hurriedly left the door. Since then, the relationship between the couple has undergone subtle changes. At first, Sweetheart thought her boyfriend had been doing bad business lately, so she left early and returned late. It wasn't until one day, when she went to a jewelry store to pick up jewelry, that she met a woman who looked very similar to her. There are too many people who look similar, so there's nothing to be alarmed about. Unfortunately, this woman is still accompanied by her boyfriend songjemming. At this point, Sugar Heart understood. She is just a substitute in the eyes of others. The other party made more than 10 consecutive phone calls, but in the end, Sugar became annoyed and decided to simply shut down the device. She knew that there would inevitably be a quarrel after returning. He could have been fooling around with his white moonlight outside, while she just saw what happened to her little hair. Her classmates all envied her finding a diamond king named Lao Wu. She didn't have to go out and work hard to earn money, as long as she lay in bed, the money would automatically be transferred to her account. But who knows, behind the glamour lies a life of upward palms. Sugar Heart is not a woman who accepts adversity. She has a strong sense of self-esteem. Thinking of the irrational behavior he had made in the past, a hint of ridicule tugged at the corners of his mouth. As expected, it didn't happen to her. After returning to the villa, the man stood at the door wearing a nightgown with a face so black that he could even get out of the water. As soon as Tang Xian entered the door, Song Jiaming questioned her where she had gone. Did you go to find your little boy again? Tangxin refused to be outdone and turned back with her head held high. You can all go find your white moonlight, why can't I go see my hair? I've told you before, and both of us are really in the past. Sugar Heart smiled and said, has it passed? Are you comforting yourself or deceiving yourself? Has her family all died yet? Even though you know you have a girlfriend, why did you ask you to accompany her? You step aside, I'm tired and I don't want to talk to you. Song Jiaminji still wanted to explain, but was pushed away by Tangshin's palm. Sugar Heart Photos. Chapter 004. Warm Summer. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. She feels nauseous when she sees this face now. Sugar Heart has stomach problems. Several nights when he had stomach problems, he asked Song Jiaming to buy medicine. He used the excuse that the company was busy and said that the pharmacy was downstairs, so he asked Tang Xin to buy it himself. Okay, he's busy. She understands. It was so painful that I couldn't dial 120. Song Jiaming's so-called busy company is actually accompanied by Bai Yueguang in the hospital. If it weren't for witnessing these things with one's own eyes, perhaps Sugar Heart would still be in a daze. Coincidentally, Tang Xin and Song Jiaming, who were pushed onto the ambulance, had a confrontation. If it weren't for her stomach ache, she would probably have jumped up and hit this dog couple. Sugar Heart bypassed and was grabbed by Song Jiaming's wrist with great force. Make the Sugar Heart very painful. I've told you everything, we really don't have much to do. Sugar Heart doesn't want to be entangled with this man anymore. Just said coldly, let go, I find it dirty. At first, Song Jiaming's pursuit of Sugar was indeed purposeful. He couldn't refute this, bit his teeth and reluctantly let go of his hand. See, I got it right. She, who had devoted herself both physically and mentally, felt suffocated when she saw the man in front of her. Tangshin walked towards the second floor. Stunted on the first staircase upstairs. Turning around without any emotion, he looked at Song Jiaming and said, in the future, I will not interfere with everything about you. I will keep it a secret from your parents for the time being. The two elderly people were kind to Sugar, and she didn't want to hurt their hearts by doing so. After losing this sentence, Sugar didn't look back and left. Outsiders thought she had found love. Actually, she is just a substitute. For over a year, Tang Xin gave up her career and settled down at home to help Song Jiaming take care of the family and take care of the elderly. What was it in exchange for? In exchange for betrayal. How much youth is worth squandering for women? Sugar Heart's hair was messy, standing in front of the bay window, smoking one cigarette after another. She didn't go to the bathroom until dawn to take a shower and put on a beautiful makeup. Carrying a dusty resume that had been sealed for over a year, I left the door. It was already 9 o'clock in the morning when Song Jiaming woke up. He habitually shouted, "Wife! Why didn't you wake me up? I have a meeting at 9 o'clock this morning. Where did you put my tie and suit for me?" Only Song Jiaming's own echo can be heard in the villa. Tang Xin's figure has long disappeared. Everything about her in the room is missing. Sugar Heart left. Impossible, she has no income, and Song Jiaming thinks it's impossible for Tang Xin to leave him. Maybe he'll be back in a few days. Song Jiaming searched for clothes for a long time, but finally managed to make some milk and spilled it all over his pants. It's almost 10:30 when we arrive at the company. 12 noon. A woman dressed in very stylish clothes appeared at Li Dongyang's doorstep. The woman has a tall figure and extraordinary temperament, and wearing a pair of sunglasses makes it difficult to see her face clearly. Knocking impatiently on Li Dongyang's door. During this period, I kept calling Li Dongyang with my phone. No one answered. A person's patience is limited, and the same goes for Xian Wan. Inside the room, Li Dongyang seemed to hear the commotion outside. Reluctantly opening his eyes, he took a nightgown from the bedside. Because he drank too much last night, he completely forgot about the appointment to see the house today. Rubbing the slightly painful temple, I opened the door in a daze. A breath of alcohol. I haven't waited for Li Dongyang to calm down yet. What we received was an overwhelming amount of cursing. Do you know how much I'm worth per minute? I wasted half an hour, can you afford to compensate? Li Dongyang stood at the door inexplicably. I thought to myself, where did the crazy woman come from? She was making a lot of noise in front of someone's door all morning. After being scolded inexplicably, he also became very angry. Hello, miss, have you made a mistake? It's only a few o'clock and you're standing at the door shouting. Do you know that your current behavior is enough to cause disturbance to the people? Believe it or not, I'll have the police uncle come and arrest you. Hear Li Dongyang's words. Even if Xian wears sunglasses, Li Dongyang can still see discomfort on her face. Before Li Dongyang could react, Xian grabbed Li Dongyang's nightgown and pulled it inside the room. This pull doesn't matter. The strap on his bathrobe unexpectedly broke. That's right, it's broken. Li Dongyang was directly exposed to Xian. I thought the other person would be shy, but I didn't expect this woman to be exceptionally calm. I just glanced briefly and said disdainfully, I can't tell, it's quite big. Following the woman's gaze. He forgot to play in a vacuum. I intended to refute a few words, but she was quite right and unable to refute. Immediately after, the woman strolled around Li Dongyang's house one by one, just like strolling around her own house. I am very satisfied with the summer warmth of this house. Go straight to the point. My time is precious. From just now until now, you have wasted 45 minutes of my time. Also, I'm interested in your house. I don't like small rooms. So, I plan to give you 5,000 master bedrooms. Li Dongyang was already full of energy, and coupled with Xian behavior just now, he felt very uncomfortable. This house, Before I could even say it out, Xian took out 100,000 yuan from her bag and threw it on the table. Li Dongyang's words came to his lips and he had to swallow them forcefully. For the sake of superpowers. He won't argue with this woman anymore. Hurry up and get the contract, I'm in a hurry. Xian tone was clearly a bit impatient. After the two of them signed the contract, they didn't forget to criticize Li Dongyang. I have never seen a man as bad as you before. You. Li Dongyang was so angry that he stood in place and turned around, his breath stuck in his chest for half a day without letting out. After Xian left, he exploded. Bah! Such a fierce woman, who marries who is unlucky. The name, Summer Warm, is so familiar. It seems like you've heard of it somewhere before. Suddenly, a spiritual light flashed by. Li Dongyang's eyes widened in surprise when he saw the two words above. No wonder he thinks this woman looks familiar. It turned out to be the top tier in the industry. After participating in the draft 3 years ago, he became uncontrollable and became the darling of all brokerage companies. The movies she starred in the first half of this year won numerous awards as soon as they were released. Just as Xian career was climbing, it suddenly disappeared. There are rumors that she got married secretly, there are also rumors that she couldn't bear to follow the rules and withdrew from the circle, and there are also rumors that she got sick. Anyway, rumors are flying everywhere. What surprised Li Dongyang even more was that this disappearing future actress would appear in his home. And we also have to share the apartment with him. I saw the promotional poster for Summer Warmth a long time ago and knew she was very good looking and had a great figure. Even if he didn't see the other person's face just now, Li Dongyang was stunned. A pair is already beautiful enough. When Li Dongyang saw Xian, he realized what it meant to be a fairy descending to the mortal world. Although sunglasses cover half of the face. With her cold and alluring temperament and extremely seductive lips, Li Dongyang concluded that those eyes under the sunglasses must be super beautiful. After Xian leaves, Li Dongyang was stunned for a while, feeling like he had been dreaming these past few days. Adjust your emotions and have a simple fast food. Received a phone call downstairs on the way back. Ask Li Dongyang to come home for dinner at 6 p.m. The person making the phone is called Zhang Wenbing. As Li Dongyang's teacher and superior, I have been taking good care of him since he started university. This well-paying job was also introduced by teacher Zhang Wenbing. For this teacher, Li Dongyang is as filial as his biological parents. I invited him to dinner tonight, mainly for his mother He-chin's birthday. Zhang Wenbing wanted to invite this proud student to come over for dinner and help him explore the plot. After all, he recommended people and messed up by slapping himself in the face. If you're lucky enough to get some performance, you'll also get some credit along the way. Summer Warm Photos. Chapter 005. Little Sister Zhang. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. At 6 o'clock in the evening. Li Dongyang specially selected a more formal piece of clothing, carried a pre-ordered fruit basket and nutritional supplements, and drove to the residence of his teacher Zhang Wenbing. The one who opened the door is his mother He-chin. Seeing Li Dongyang's persistent complaints, he said, "You've just started working, and this money should be kept to marry a wife. Are you saying that you're a foolish child? All the money earned is spent on these things." Although He-chin complained incessantly on her lips, her heart was filled with warmth. Li Dongyang is a proud student of Zhang Wenbing, and in the past few years of college, he has come to Zhang Wenbing's house to make a living. He-chin treats him even more like his own son. "Today is my birthday and I want to invite him to come over and have a family dinner. I didn't expect this kid to buy a bunch of things." It's neither true nor true. He-chin took the fruit basket and nutritional supplements from Li Dongyang's hand and looked behind him, wondering, "Did anyone come with you?" Li Dongyang awkwardly smiled and said, "She went to the production team and shouldn't be able to come back for a while." He-chin didn't think much, just nodded and said, "It's a good thing for young people to prioritize their careers. Tell her not to work too hard outside and come back if she's tired. It's really not possible to come to our production team." He-chin's job is similar to that of Zhang Wenbing, both of whom work as screenwriters. The only difference is that one is a TV drama and the other is a stage play. In terms of grade, there are still some differences between the two forms. He-chin greeted Li Dongyang into the room and picked up the gift he was holding. "I don't know if I don't mention it, but it's not worth mentioning. Okay, you Zhang Wenbing. If you want to drink, you're using Dongyang as a shield. I see you're itching, right?" At this moment, Zhang Wenbing was stir-frying in the kitchen when he heard his wife call him by his name and asked with confusion, "Wife, did you just call me?" "I happened to see Li Dongyang entering the door." "Dongyang is here. Hurry up and sit on the sofa, there are only 2 more dishes left," said the enthusiastic greeting. Li Dongyang changed his slippers and handed the gift to his teacher, He-chin, before directly entering the kitchen. Zhang Wenbing was wearing a floral and ruffled apron, which looked so small and fresh, completely different from his usual tall and imposing appearance. "Why did you come to the kitchen? There's oil fumes. Is there cooking fumes? Those full-time moms spend their days in the kitchen." The teacher and student both chuckled. After saying these words, Li Dongyang skillfully took off the kitchen knife from the knife holder and picked up the potatoes on the cutting board with a snap, his hand speed comparable to that of a chef. Li Dongyang cut the potatoes and washed them clean before going to the living room to confirm everything was okay. Teacher He-chin sat leisurely on the sofa, munching on melon seeds and eating snacks. After all, she is the birthday star today. Seeing Li Dongyang come out, he quickly moved his position and pushed the fruit tray on the coffee table in front of him. Before Li Dongyang could speak, the teacher's mother spoke first. "What are you going to help him with?" "It's not easy. The next time we need someone to help with the kitchen. Don't bother with him, try this crispy melon. It was hand-pickled by my master's mother and it's quite delicious. I'll go back later and bring 2 bottles. By the way, and this is a specialty brought by one of my colleagues from Beijing. You can also bring 2 bags when you go back. And this one. After a while, He-chin filled a big bag for Li Dongyang. I never came back empty-handed to have dinner with the teacher. Li Dongyang is a person who knows how to be grateful. Apart from his family, his teacher and mother treat him the best. He is grateful from the bottom of his heart. A few minutes later, the door has opened. A beautiful and charming girl walked in carrying a cake. The girl has beautiful hair, big eyes, a tall nose bridge, and looks particularly pure and beautiful in a floral dress. The whole person is full of vitality. Mom, I brought back the cake. Dongyang brother. Zhang Yu placed the cake on the dining table and politely shouted. Then a pair of beautiful eyes swept around the room. That woman didn't come. The woman in Zhang Yu's mouth has a pair. I don't know why, but after Li Dongyang fell in love, Zhang Yu always had objections to his girlfriend. Anyway, it doesn't look good anywhere. Xiaoye, how did you talk? What about that woman? That's your Dongyang brother's girlfriend, and she will be your sister.in.law from now on. I don't admit she's my sister.in.law. Humph. Zhang Yu snorted. Don't pay attention to her, I don't know why this girl is smoking. Upon hearing this, Zhang Yu became unhappy. Mom, how did you talk? How could you say that about your daughter? After speaking, he rolled his eyes at He-chin. Anyway, I just don't like her. You child. He-chin raised her hand and prepared to hit someone. You hit me, the pain is in your heart. On weekdays, the couple loves each other tightly and is really unwilling to hit her. He-chin looked at her daughter's proud and petite appearance and let out a long sigh. It's all my fault and your father spoiled you. With so much to say, hurry up and serve the dishes. If it were normal, Zhang Yu would definitely refute 2 sentences. But today is my mother's birthday, and Zhang Yu pouted, okay, whoever calls you today's birthday star, I'll make do with you once. He-chin. During the meal, Zhang Wenbing suddenly asked, by the way, Dongyang, you said that you went to Hengdian to film. Do you know which crew you're on? I'll see if there are any acquaintances and ask them to help take care of me. A girl who goes out is not very safe. Youxuang is a good child in all aspects, and both your mother and I really like him. Remember to inquire, it's always good to have someone to take care of you. By the way, you told me last time that you were going to propose to her in the next few days, how did it go? Did she agree? Zhang Wenbing asked Li Dongyang while picking vegetables. I completely didn't notice the expression on Zhang Yu's face. Pop. Zhang Yu suddenly slammed her chopsticks directly onto the table, startling everyone. Are you going to propose to that woman? I disagree. Li Dongyang. He-chin was slightly angry and said, Xiaoye, what are you doing? The food is not delicious, why are you slapping chopsticks on the table? Your proposal from Dongyang brother is a good thing. Don't act around here. Zhang Yu pursed her lips, her face visibly unhappy. Just eat. Every sentence is about that woman. Have you considered my feelings? Zhang Wenbing. Li Dongyang. Both of them looked bewildered. He-chin frowned and said, what about that woman? Is she a bit polite? She will become your sister.in.law in the future. Zhang Yu opened the chair and kicked Li Dongyang's ankle, saying, that's what you said, I didn't admit it. Li Dongyang was inexplicably kicked. Sitting at the table with a bewildered expression on his face. I don't know where I offended this little ancestor again. Since he started dating, Zhang Yu has been like a different person, occasionally needing to smoke. Everything is not pleasing to the eye. He-chin felt very embarrassed about her daughter's behavior just now. Dongyang, don't have the same opinion as this girl. Mother is here to accompany you, isn't she? Li Dongyang waved his hands repeatedly. It's okay, Shermu. I don't blame Xiao Yu. In the room, Zhang Yu sat on the bed with a face full of grievances. Propose, do you care about my feelings? When I am transparent. Li Dongyang, you idiot, big bastard. Junior sister Zhang Yu. Chapter 006. Insulting people with money. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Master. Is this? Don't worry about her, just let her brain twitch. After returning from college, I've become very angry. When this summer vacation ends, I'll go ask their homeroom teacher how they teach. Zhang Wenbing patted Li Dongyang's shoulder with his hand and comforted him. Don't worry about her. When she finishes playing with her little temper, she'll come out on her own. That night, until Li Dongyang left, Zhang Yu did not come out. It is obvious that this little girl is really angry. Wait for Li Dongyang to return to the house. I thought a thief had entered when I found my own door half hidden. Picking up the mop in the hallway, he tiptoed open the door. The result was a false alarm. Xian Wan sat on the sofa, her hair slightly curled into large waves, her skin fair, and her limbs slender. She has an excellent figure, with a protruding front and a raised back, and an indescribable arrogance on her face. At first glance, it looks like a character that is not easy to mess with. But it cannot be denied that this woman is indeed very beautiful. The feeling of being so beautiful that you can't move it away at first glance. Are you back? Xian Wan's voice had a questioning tone. It's like the feeling of my husband sneaking out and being caught. Hurry up and move your things to the side recliner. By the way, bring these things of mine in. Also, from now on, without my permission, you are not allowed to touch my things. I have a cleanliness fetish. Upon hearing these words, Li Dongyang felt very speechless. Ask him for help, but don't let him touch her things. How to do it? Wear gloves. Li Dongyang lowered his head and coincidentally met Xian Wan's charming big eyes. In the end, we compromised. Okay. Who said you look good? He acknowledged it. Let's not take this as an example. Xian Wan is not someone who does not understand human relationships and worldly wisdom. Take out 2,000 directly from your pocket and place them on the coffee table. He said to Li Dongyang, don't worry, the person who helped me with the work has never let him suffer. These 2,000 are your wages. By the way, there is still my luggage in the parking lot downstairs. Here is the car key. Can you help me move it? Li Dongyang stood in the living room, staring quietly at Xian Wan with a pair of dead fish eyes. Not enough, right? I'm getting you 1,000. If workers are hired to move things, the maximum amount is 1,000. However, Xian Wan has a cleanliness fetish and doesn't like people touching her things. Isn't it enough? After speaking, Xian Wan took out 1,000 from her wallet and placed them on the table. I'm a bit tired, could you please help me? Li Dongyang's tone changed when he saw Xian Wan. In the end, for the sake of superpowers, he grabbed Maserati's car key from the table. Where is the car parked? The negative floor is right next to the elevator entrance. As he went out, Li Dongyang looked at the Maserati car key in his hand and wondered if there was anything wrong with having so much money to come here and share a house. Isn't it true that top-tier playwrights like this all live in big villas? This has confused Li Dongyang. Also, the woman's commanding tone made him feel very uncomfortable. If it weren't for the money in place, he wouldn't have reluctantly let out the master bedroom. On the car. There are not many things in the summer warm zone. Just 2 suitcases and some personal belongings. Li Dongyang carried a suitcase in each hand and spread the bag over his shoulder, left and right. It's a bit like a chicken on the left and a duck on the right. Just about carrying a chubby doll on your back. When he returns to the room, Xian Wan is already asleep leaning on the sofa. Even when Li Dongyang asked her where to put her things, she didn't respond. It seems like I haven't slept for a long time. Li Dongyang is a person who loves cleanliness. Watching the messy luggage piled up in the living room, his heart twitched. He originally wanted to wake up Xian. But, under the influence of sympathy, I persevered. Silently return to the bedroom and move your luggage and clothes to the second bedroom. When Li Dongyang found this apartment, it was also fate. Coincidentally, he met the previous landlord who urgently needed to deal with him due to lack of money. Such a good location, according to the average price at that time, 8,000. This house costs at least 1.5 million yuan. Li Dongyang took down 1 million yuan. We saved a whopping 500,000 yuan. The house was renovated for a year, and it was only completed at the end of last year. Empty for half a year. I only checked in August. It's less than a week. There aren't many things added inside. Li Dongyang only has a few sets of clothes to change and wash with, and a laptop. As for the bed sheets, pull them with 4 legs and pack them directly. In no time, Li Dongyang tidied up the master bedroom. As for Xian, Li Dongyang only glanced at her. He had intended to bring Xian into the room, but he remembered what she had said. No touching her things without her permission. It's better to do less than to do more. I went back to my second bedroom. The second bedroom is about the same size as the master bedroom. The only difference is the absence of a bathroom. Going to the bathroom can be a bit troublesome. Everything else is the same. Returning to the bedroom and lying in bed, Li Dongyang didn't feel anything different. Turn on the air conditioning and quickly fall asleep. As for the summer warmth in the living room, I just lay on the sofa and blew the air conditioning all night. Early the next morning. Open the door. I saw a beautiful figure nestled on the sofa. There are 2 piles of toilet paper stuffed into my nostrils. Li Dongyang was stunned. I don't know why he always feels like laughing when he sees this scene. Your interests and hobbies are really unique, he joked. Xian was already angry because last night, Li Dongyang hung her on the sofa and caught a cold. Wake up in the morning, this guy still doesn't know how to judge the heat, mocking her. Isn't this killing him? Suddenly, I was extremely angry. Did you die last night? How could someone put a girl on the sofa like this? You can let it go, at least cover me with a blanket. Li Dongyang paused. Sister, it's you who claim to have a cleanliness fetish and asked me not to touch your things without your permission, she asked in reverse. I followed suit. How could this still blame me? It's really inexplicable. Xian knew she was wrong, but she couldn't resist this tone and said unreasonably, anyway, I don't care. It's because you didn't cover me with a blanket that I caught a cold. If it weren't for you, I would get sick. So you have to take care of me. Upon hearing these words, Li Dongyang's eyes almost widened. Did I make you sleep on the sofa? Retorted. Did I make you sleep without covering the blanket? You caught a cold, why should I take care of you? I still have to go to work, I don't have time. Xian glanced at Li Dongyang. From the nearby branded bag, take out a wallet and toss 1,000 yuan onto the dining table. This money is enough for me to have 3 meals a day, isn't it? I tell you, don't keep insulting people with money. I don't like this kind of thing. Xian doesn't like Li Dongyang's style. Take out another 1,000 from the bag and throw them on the dining table. Is 2,000 enough? Not enough. 3,000, Li Dongyang, who was still speaking tough just now, softened his tone a bit. I tell you, if it weren't for your good looks. This thing doesn't work well with me at all. Chapter 007. My lungs explode with anger. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Breakfast and dinner are fine. I have to go to work at noon. I would like to declare that the master bedroom is for your temporary use, and please do not tamper with the decorations inside. Xian smiled and said, why are these things given to you by your girlfriend? She looked at Li Dongyang with a strange expression in her eyes. Even a wooden man like you who pokes and moves has a girlfriend. I think it's that girl who's blind, that's why she's interested in you. Li Dongyang's eyes changed when he saw Xian Wan. I am 186 meters tall and beautiful. It's normal for me to have a girlfriend, isn't it? Also, what do you mean by someone like me? What's wrong with me? It's not Li Dongyang's own exaggeration about appearance and height. When he was in college, he captivated many of his classmates with his good voice and appearance. At that time, Yoshuang was a well-known and pure school flower in their school, and they pursued Li Dongyang for 2 years. Upon hearing these words, Xian Wan subconsciously looked at Li Dongyang. Looking down from top, it's like looking at an animal. This is the first time she has taken Li Dongyang seriously. Decades later, Xian Wan withdrew her gaze. That only represents your personal opinion. I'm not feeling well now. Do you have any medicine at home? Li Dongyang rarely catches a cold alone, so he rarely prepares medicine at home. I've caught a cold, I need to take medicine. Then, under Li Dongyang's stunned gaze, he returned to the room wearing slippers with a clattering sound. Is this asking him to help her buy cold medicine? Do you have any luggage in this room? Do you also need his help to organize? I don't consider myself an outsider, do I? Renting a house to such a woman makes Li Dongyang feel speechless. He regrets signing this contract. When Xian Wan changed into a set of pajamas and walked out, she found Li Dongyang still standing there, frowning. Why haven't you gone to buy medicine yet? Li Dongyang didn't move, just stared at Xian Wan. Where did you tell me to go and buy medicine for you so early? Did you smash someone else's pharmacy? Also, what's wrong with your luggage? Xian Wan's pretty face was slightly cold, staring at Li Dongyang. They've all caught a cold, but you still want me to move by myself. Li Dongyang showed no weakness and looked at Xian Wan. Big sister, this is a cold, not a serious illness. Why can't you move? Also, if you want to take medicine, you can go down and buy it yourself. Why should I buy it for you? Afraid of being recognized. Xian Wan's words made him unable to refute. Li Dongyang smiled, it was a bitter smile. Who would be so unlucky to have such a woman on the street for 8 lifetimes? So you treat me like a runner or a laborer. Xian Wan pulled off 2 tissues from her nose and threw them into the trash can. She sat down on the sofa with a stern face and said, I'll get you the money. The price for 5-star service is good, right? Li Dongyang finally endured what he wanted to say. Can you stop insulting people with money every time? You're still a big star. Let your fans know about your character. I don't know what your reaction will be. Xian Wan snorted coldly. Then you can choose not to take it. As the saying goes, the mouth is short when eating people, and the hands are soft when taking people. This early morning pharmacy has not yet opened, and the 24-hour self-service pharmacy is too far away. I had no choice but to go to the kitchen and cook her a bowl of ginger soup. If you catch a cold, drink some ginger soup to ward off the cold, and then cover yourself with a blanket to sleep. This is how Li Dongyang got a cold when he was a child, and his mother helped him with it. After breakfast, Li Dongyang went to work as usual. Seeing Xian Wan go back to her room to sleep without disturbing her. I wrote a sticky note and placed it on the dining table. The kitchen has put a bowl of congee for you. There is food in the refrigerator. You can eat it after heating it up. Remember to wash the bowl after eating. As for the luggage in the living room, he was in a hurry to work and didn't have time to move it, so he had to wait until evening to come back and tidy it up. Company. Zhang Wenbing arrived at Li Dongyang's office early in the morning. Hand a few scripts to Li Dongyang. This is a popular web drama recently. Take it and take a look for some inspiration. Don't underestimate these web dramas, they can earn a lot even if they become popular. Zhang Wenbing patted Li Dongyang's shoulder. So, don't just act recklessly just because you don't have much investment. As long as you finish this drama, you can become a formal screenwriter and have more resources at your disposal. One step closer to fame. Li Dongyang knew that Zhang Wenbing was cheering him on. I nodded and said, "Don't worry, teacher. I have already typed the framework and written 2 episodes of the plot. Personally, I think it's okay." Zhang Wenbing said, "Okay, as long as you have confidence. I'm worried that you might think this is a small investment and not take it seriously. I can rest assured and work hard. By the way, did anyone tell you which crew you are on?" Li Dongyang shook his head. He didn't tell the teacher about the double affair and lied, "She's quite busy and hasn't replied to me yet." In fact, it's not that he didn't respond, but that he found out that someone had cheated in order to obtain resources. Zhang Wenbing sighed and said, "Tell her not to work too hard outside, as long as she can support herself. If you know which crew you are on, let me know at the first time, and I'll take a walk." For Li Dongyang, Zhang Wenbing treats him like a son, so his affairs naturally come to mind. I finish work at 5 p.m. The company is half an hour away from home. On the way home, he habitually goes to the mall to buy some vegetables. Xian Wan gave a week's worth of food expenses, and after receiving money from others, the food was naturally better. Li Dongyang is not a stingy man. I naturally won't care too much. But what he couldn't stand the most was Xian Wan's rightful appearance. The feeling of wanting to hit her when I saw it. Out of the elevator. The scene before Li Dongyang was taken aback. His master bedroom bed was thrown outside the door. The door of the room is also open. It's exactly the same as yesterday. Without saying a word, Li Dongyang quickened his pace and walked in. It's really warm in summer. The woman covered herself like a zongzi for fear of being recognized. 2 unfamiliar men's voices could also be heard in the master bedroom. "What are you doing? Why move out my newly bought bed? I can't get used to the smell of other women in this bed. So we'll replace it with a new one. This is what I just bought. I've only slept for a few days, so you lost it to me like this. Anyway, I've seen your bed and it's not worth much money. If you lose it, then you lose it. I also bought some furniture and it will arrive in 2 days. I don't like these and these, so I plan to replace them all." Li Dongyang glanced at the master bedroom and then at the door at the bed that had been thrown outside. He angrily said, "Hey. I'm renting the house to you, but it doesn't mean you can do it casually. I've only slept on this bed before. How could it smell like a woman? Can you make an excuse and find a better one?" Xian Wan did not answer this question directly. "I can't bear to see this color being too basic. So I'll help you choose a more advanced one, don't thank me." Li Dongyang was left speechless by Xian Wan. He wished he could kick this woman out now. Caught up a lot of fire and brought the dishes to the kitchen. When he saw the bowls and chopsticks placed in the kitchen sink, as well as some dark things, he was so angry that his lungs hurt. Chapter 008. Self-Elevation Without Money Path. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When he saw the kitchen, he almost fainted. Shouting loudly, "Are you doing scientific research? Are you still cooking? You almost blew up this kitchen." He was holding a stainless steel pot that had been burned through. Yes, you heard him right. It was made of stainless steel, and there was only a small portion of the environmentally friendly cutting board that had been burned down. He also bought a new rice cooker that he had just spent $1,000 on. Not only did things spoil, but they also filled the room with oil fumes. Is this something that people do? Xian Wan's voice came from the living room, "Didn't you ask me to cook when you went out? This will blow up the kitchen. Are you coming to blame me? Do you think you're very funny?" Li Dongyang stood at the kitchen door, feeling an indescribable sense of melancholy. I can't help but cry and laugh. If you don't know how to cook, big sister, just speak up. Li Dongyang finally understood why Xianwan had to change the furniture in the room. Is it so difficult to admit a mistake while being stubborn when doing something wrong? He helplessly picked up the burnt rice cooker and was stunned to see that the wire was still plugged in. This didn't even kill that woman, it's really lucky. Li Dongxiu carefully unplugged the plug and threw the rotten pot and chopping board into the trash can. Helpless, he picked up a cloth and turned on the faucet in the sink to clean it. The burnt cutting board stuck to the stove, no matter how he rubbed it, it couldn't be washed off. The more he washed it, the more unhappy he felt in his heart. No, we absolutely can't leave this time bomb by our side, maybe we'll burn down the house one day. The rice cooker is gone, the pot is rotten, and the cutting board is burnt. Li Dongyang looks at the dishes in his hand and doesn't know what to do. Just as he was planning to put the vegetables in the refrigerator, Xianwan arrived in the kitchen wearing slippers with a clattering sound. Don't leave any ink stains there anymore. I have already called the cleaning company to come and they will be there soon. You go to the Westin Hotel to pack a package. Li Dongyang was so angry that his mouth twitched. Before he could agree or not, Xia Nuanci gave him a self-esteem VIP membership card and said, I saved money in it. When I go, I'll use this card to swipe. You can check if there's anything else to eat and buy some for yourself. Just when Li Dongyang thought the girl had some conscience, Xianwan said again, the things you bought in the kitchen are too garbage. They didn't work much and broke down. Li Dongyang. You said you don't know how to use it, but I feel a little better in my heart. This damn woman can anger me to death. Why are you still standing here? If you go later, it's past the best time to have dinner. When I have a stomach problem, it's all up to you. Li Dongyang. He really wants to slap this woman to death with a fly. Tomorrow, please go to this address and help me pick up this item. Take out your phone. Before Li Dongyang could react, Xianwan took Li Dongyang's phone and opened the screen with a familiar sound in his face. What are you doing with my phone? Li Dongyang. Of course I gave you the address with your phone. Do you think I'm interested in you? Xianwan replied calmly, with a hint of disgust in her tone. I don't even look up to a man who cares so much. As soon as I finish work, I get scolded. Li Dongyang looked weakly at the ceiling. I promised to find someone who loves cleanliness, but they almost blew up the kitchen in just one day. What kind of thing did I come up with? He suddenly felt a slight pain in his head. When he packed it back, the room had already been cleaned up by the housekeeping. Two people sitting at the dining table eating together. After finishing his meal, he had no intention of caring about this woman and went to the study. Put on your glasses and continue writing the unfinished script this afternoon. At this moment, Xianwan finished her meal and was digesting in the living room. She saw Li Dongyang sitting seriously in the study and walked over with some curiosity. It turned out that Li Dongyang was writing a script and jokingly said, I didn't see it. Do people like you still write scripts? What does it mean to be a person like him who can be popular with this woman 800 times a day? What's wrong with him? I don't even know how this woman managed to achieve her current success in the entertainment industry, she speaks so fluently. Which company are you from? Li Dongyang didn't want to talk to this woman, but he was afraid that she would cling on and not let go. Gao, the contracted editor of Extraordinary Film and Television. Xianwan nodded and said, I've heard of Extraordinary Things. It's a big company, and I've heard that the screenwriters inside are very capable. This made Li Dongyang feel that he had finally found some ground. I thought to myself that this woman's mouth may be a bit broken, but there are still some lovely things. Li Dongyang raised the corner of his mouth. I finally heard a human voice. Looking back, I saw Xia Tingchan's thoughtful expression. I don't know what she's thinking. Then I heard her voice, a screenwriter of your level should have gone through a backdoor. Li Dongyang. I have a feeling of wanting to dig into her ancestral tomb. Get up and pull the woman's arm out. Although he was very angry, he still acted gentlemanly and invited Xian out of the study. You try to speed up the pace of the plot, and the male and female leads have strong and sudden changes. Nowadays, people who watch web dramas are very tricky. If you don't enjoy it, no one will watch it. If you follow the original script, you can ensure that everything will sink into the sea. It's not me hitting you. I don't have any money to go. Before Xian could finish speaking, she was invited out by Li Dongyang. Sitting back on the desk and continuing to write the script. However, just now, he listened to Xian words and went over his manuscript from scratch. This woman is not very cute, but what she said is true. When Li Dongyang changed his thinking to that of a reader, he did indeed discover problems from within. He condensed the original 3 chapters into 2, enhancing the conflict between the two, and wrote about the smell of gunpowder from the previously ordinary language. There is a feeling of wanting to rush in and strangle the female lead. Not long after Xian left, she received a phone call. Li Dongyang doesn't know exactly what it means. I just heard Xian angrily scold, so what about the Gold Lord's father? Did these people touch my thighs casually? Only I, a man, have this right here. If this matter is not resolved properly, I won't do it even if I receive any compensation. Don't blame me for smashing his head with a wine bottle. It's despicable for the female lead to change whenever she wants and make threats. Tell them over there, this movie is not uncommon to me. Don't give me a day of playing with unwritten rules, sister won't eat this kind of trick. Don't think that just a little stinky money can sleep with me, I'll only let my men sleep in my lifetime. I won't take on this drama anymore. I'm in Yushui Bay, come and pick me up. The person who called Xian was her agent Jing Jie. She just received a message saying that the investor has temporarily replaced a new female lead and called Xian the second female lead. She already dislikes this investor, so she will use a replacement as a threat. Despicable. After hanging up the phone, Xian pretty face turned black and she went back to the bedroom to change into a dress. Then I answered a phone call and carried my bag before leaving. Chapter 009. The Strongest Back Door. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After staying up all night, Li Dongyang finally revised the previous script. I checked and it's already 11 o'clock. Opening the door, he found that Xian bedroom door was closed. At some point, an additional sign appeared, landlord and dog, don't disturb me. He can understand the landlord, but since there are only the 2 of them in this room, where is there an extra dog? I'm afraid this woman didn't come around the corner to scold him. The next morning. At 8:30 a.m., Li Dongyang arrived at the company early. He showed the script he wrote last night to his teacher Zhang Wenbing. Zhang Wenbing is a senior producer of the company, with extensive experience and considerable power. Whether it's the old or new screenwriters of the company, everyone's drafts have to go through his hands. Zhang Wenbing flipped page by page, occasionally raising his eyebrows. At this moment, Li Dongyang's heart was pounding into his throat. He used to write web dramas as well, and teachers would say they were good after watching them, but none of them were made into short dramas because he didn't have enough qualifications. This time, the teacher finally managed to win him over. Li Dongyang cherishes it especially. As long as there is a slight fluctuation in the expression on the teacher's face, Li Dongyang will be extremely nervous. It wasn't until Zhang Wenbing closed his notebook that Li Dongyang let out a long sigh of relief. Quickly asked, "Teacher, how do you think this script is written?" Previously, he had read this kid's script and although it was written very well, it always had a slight flavor. However, today he thinks that Li Dongyang wrote these 2 chapters very well. The plot is compact, with strong contradictions and conflicts, just like your own experience, which can resonate with readers. Zhang Wenbing nodded at Li Dongyang, showing a childish smile. Not bad, I was surprised by the plot in your script. The male protagonist's feelings for the female protagonist are well written inside, but in the end, due to some reasons, no one was together. This is a regret left for the audience, and I really like this male protagonist's personality. I think the redemption section that appears later is very good. In one's lifetime, there will always be regrets and hopes for redemption. You have grasped this essence very well. Although the theme is a bit traditional, I think this script has some creativity. Not bad, undoubtedly, they are the students I brought out. While praising Li Dongyang, Zhang Wenbing also did not forget to praise himself. In fact, Li Dongyang also put a lot of effort into writing this script. At first, he couldn't handle the emotions between the male lead and the female lead well. Until his relationship with Yoshuang went wrong, he finally knew how to write about the male lead's feelings towards the female lead. Urban theaters like this are easy to find and relatively sufficient compared to the budget. As for the villa, I'll take a look and see where it's more suitable. Let's rent it with the owner in advance. Only 2 of these were written, and Zhang Wenbing wished to push himself out as a proud student. Li Dongyang is naturally happy to receive recognition from the teacher, but besides the teacher, he also needs to receive recognition from the investors. Nowadays, many screenwriters are innovating, and he is a bit worried that his traditional drama will be passed. The person in charge of the other party is Zhang Wenbing's good brother, and this investment was also helped by Zhang Wenbing. Li Dongyang really doesn't know how to thank this teacher. If you're not feeling at ease, I'll call him over now. As for the production side, you don't have to worry at all. The teacher said that if you can pass, you will definitely pass. The producer of the extraordinary film and television is called Li Songbai, who is a slightly chubby-looking man. Despite his usual smiling demeanor, he is a middle-aged man who works very seriously. He is a professor at Zhangyu School and has an old friendship with Zhang Wenbing. He is a good brother and has put a lot of effort into bringing this great Buddha to extraordinary film and television. Zhang Wenbing knocked on the door of Li Songbai's office. Facing him was a middle-aged man with black-framed glasses, his posture in stark contrast to Zhang Wen. One thin and one fat. The man pushed his glasses and saw Zhang Wenbing enter the door. He asked, "Old Zhang, what's up?" Zhang Wenbing smiled happily and said, "I can't come to see you if I have nothing to do." Then he shook the script in his hand and said, "This is a script written by Dongyang. It's out, and I've seen the plot inside. Although it's a traditional urban drama, I think the plot design is very good." Li Songbai was a bit surprised. So fast. After all, this investment only came down yesterday. Zhang Wenbing smiled proudly and said, "That's right, don't you even see whose proud student it is? You know how to praise yourself, and you also praise yourself once." Li Songbai took the script from Zhang Wenbing's hand, propped his glasses with his index finger, and moved the script he was reading to one side. About 10 minutes. "Lao Zhang, it's okay. I can write this kind of script in just one night. This kid is a talent." Zhang Wenbing chuckled and almost raised his nose to the sky. "There's nothing I can do. I brought it out, it's not good. In the future, I'll trouble you to go through the back door for Dongyang's scripts." Li Songbai immediately raised his eyebrows and joked, "Old Zhang, you weren't the person who used to hate going through back doors the most. Why, now you're going to become the person you hate the most." Zhang Wenbing laughed and said, "If your ability is not good, then call the back. If your ability is good, call for opening the green channel in advance, and be flexible. I don't think there's any problem. You put it here first, and I'll let the crew take a look. I'll get back to you later." Li Songbai placed the script at the top. "This back door doesn't walk very fast. Doing film and television is like this, with each department approving it one by one, fast for a week, slow for 6 months. Of course, this script is also good, and even if it's not good, it will be rejected. Lee Songbai placed Lee Dongyang's script on it and estimated that there should be a result within an hour. Not long after. Director Wang Jiansheng, responsible for web dramas, and web drama producer Lego walked into Lee Songbai's office in the production manager's office. "Mr. Lee, do you call us? What do you think of this script?" Wang Jiansheng took the script handed over by Lee Songbai with some confusion. "Whose script is this? Could you please call us over so urgently?" "Old Lee, that proud student, I would like to hear your opinion." Lego and Wang Jiansheng exchanged a glance, both calling them over, indicating that the script was acceptable out of curiosity. Wang Jiansheng and Lego still roughly walked through the plot. Urban theme. Seeing this theme, Lego frowned. The web dramas they are currently filming are either time-traveling or rebirth. To be honest, they don't have much experience in traditional dramas like this. However, fortunately, the budget for this drama is not high, and even if the release click-through rate is not good, it will not suffer too much. Wang Jiansheng and Lego were not confident about this traditional urban drama and didn't know what to say for a moment. Lee Songbai raised his eyebrows and said, "I think it's okay. Anyway, we haven't filmed this kind of drama before. Let's try this kid's script." Chapter 0010, help me check the information of that actress. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Jiansheng and Lego both pursed their mouths. In their impression, Mr. Lee has always been upright and dislikes going through back doors the most. How could he be more proactive than anyone else? "If you have any questions, just let them know," Lee Songbai said in a dry cough, even though the two of them are not very optimistic about this short drama, with Li Lao and producer Zhang pressing ahead. If this face is not given, how will they continue to work in the company in the future? "Okay, tell this kid to get the script out as soon as possible, and we'll arrange it on our end." Seeing the two people nodding, Lee Songbai, who had just shown a serious expression with a straight face, finally opened his eyebrows. Don't be fooled by his usual cheerful demeanor, it's called hiding a knife in a smile. After the two of them left, Lee Songbai looked at the script on the table and murmured, "The script is a good script, but I don't know if it can still be accepted in the current environment. If it can be accepted, it may soar to the sky. If it can't be accepted, then it will sink to the sea, whether it is successful or not. Lao Zhang, I can only help you here. Whether you can make a name for yourself in the extraordinary world depends on this kid's fate." Office, Li Dongyang is anxiously waiting. He doesn't know what the next outcome will be. Seeing Zhang Wenbing walking up to him with a stern face holding the script, he was completely dumbfounded and thought to himself, maybe it was because he didn't pass, that the teacher had such an expression. "Dongyang, come to my office and I have something to say to you." Close the door. Li Dongyang's heart skipped his throat as he asked, "Teacher, has my script been written down?" Zhang Wenbing squinted at him and said, "What's wrong?" "I don't believe in your teacher's judgment." He must have believed, but Zhang Wenbing's expression clearly showed the pass on his face. "You have good luck. Once you pass, he asked you to get the script out as soon as possible in the next few days. Strive to release 10 episodes next week to prepare for filming. Urban dramas, unlike other dramas, have relatively less post-production processing. As long as they pass the review, they can be rescheduled. Come on, Dongyang. Of course, this is your first script to officially start filming, and whether it's successful or not, you have to think positively. Zhang Wenbing is a newcomer, and young people like Li Dongyang can't help but feel restless at times. Although Old Li is optimistic about this script, he also told Zhang Wenbing about the feedback from the production team. Getting vaccinations in advance is always good. Dongyang, whether your drama is successful or not, the first step in life must be taken. Becoming successful will greatly help your future development. However, if not, don't be discouraged, after all, you are still young and there are still many opportunities. Of course, the teacher's statement is not to dampen your enthusiasm. As you know, there is fierce competition in online dramas nowadays. Lowering expectations is not necessarily harmful. Li Dongyang smiled and said, "Teacher, I understand what you mean. I'll go back and write the script now." Zhang Wenbing patted Li Dongyang on the shoulder and said, "Go ahead and work hard. As long as you become famous in this industry, you will naturally earn a lot of wealth." All right. Li Dongyang nodded and returned to the office to continue writing the script. Busy schedule made him temporarily forget about having a couple, immersed in the world of scripts alone. On the other end, Luxury Villas, Xianwan's agent Li Jing presented a stack of scripts in front of her. "These are all scripts that I can help you choose from the hottest fantasy, time travel, and rebirth of the moment. Take a look and see if you like any of them." Xianwan was brought up by Li Jing since her debut, and Li Jing is very clear about her personality. If she can't read the script, even if she holds a knife holder around her neck, she will accept it. Last time, when the company was organizing a meal, the investor touched her thigh and was hit on the head by a bottle of wine from Xianwan. How awkward the atmosphere is. Until now, the investors are still not satisfied. Blaming her a bitch, the artist is not just a disguised high-end prostitute, but also pretending to be aloof with him there. This statement excited Xianwan to the point where she threw him a bottle of wine. She has seen many investors who rely on investment to sleep with actresses, and she has never gotten used to it. The only man who can sleep with her is her own man. "How about it, do you have any interests?" Xianwan just glanced lightly and threw all the scripts on the coffee table. Li Jing knew she was still angry about changing the female lead in the previous script, but now in the entertainment industry, it's like changing clothes, updating quickly. If there are no good works, they will be replaced quickly. I have already inquired and found out that the actress who replaced you is called Yu Xuan. She is a newcomer and graduated from the Film and Television Academy. She is 3 years younger than you and has a very innocent appearance. It is said that she is the school flower of their school. The reason why the company changed people is because she better fits the image of the female lead in the movie. But discerning people know that Xianwan is the type of actor with a strong desire, purity, and shaping ability. It may be more fitting, but in fact, she has not yet succeeded. The online drama market is very large now, and making a good film is more profitable than making a movie. Don't think too much, sometimes you have to change your temper. Just now, Chaofan revealed that a few new scripts have been released and sent to their email. Do you want to take a look? Xianwan thought for a moment and finally took the tablet from Li Jing's hand. Li Jing knew that she was in a bad mood, being eaten tofu, the female protagonist being robbed, and the investors using their power to cut off all her resources. She felt very unhappy and comforted. "It's okay, if you don't want to take it, it's okay." She walked through several scripts, all of which were repetitive. She fell in love with an online script called Warm Sunshine in Winter, Sugar in Summer. She really likes the character settings here and feels very similar to her experience. I returned the notebook to Li Jing. Pointing at the play, he said, "Just let it be. That's right, no matter what happens, this day will continue, maybe we'll find a chance to turn things around someday." Li Jing sighed and closed her laptop. In fact, she knows very well in her heart that after being manipulated by capital, no matter how excellent Xianwan is, there is no chance for her to turn over. Li Jing felt a bit regretful. She couldn't bear to hide such a good seedling and used all her connections to find a few online scripts. Before leaving, he instructed, "You should rest well these few days, and I will help you handle the company's affairs." Chaofan is a big company, and their scripts are still of some level. Many of them have won international awards, so they may become popular. Fire, how could it be so simple? Xianwan shook her head. Okay, then you can rest first. There is one more thing, Li Jing actually doesn't want to tell Xian, but it's not enough to cover the fire. Sooner or later, she will know about this. Your new song has been taken down by major TV stations, but it's okay. Even if it's not bright in the East and bright in the West, online singers can still make money. Li Jing comforted her by saying that she was afraid that Xian would get into the wrong corner. Although she appears calm on the surface, she knows that Xian is definitely not feeling well now. Alright, I'll go back to the company to handle things first. Let's go out together for a big meal tonight to release our mood. Xian sat silently on the sofa, not knowing what she was thinking. Seeing that she didn't speak, Li Jing continued. Where to eat, you decide. Anyway, don't eat too greasy to avoid getting acne and not getting on camera. No, I still have a place to go tonight. Also, Sister Jing, could you please help me check the information of that actress? Okay. It was soon time to finish work when Li Dongyang returned to the community and found that the door was closed, and Xian room was also closed. Her slippers were not moved, so this woman should not have returned. I don't know why, but he got angry when he saw the sign hanging at the door of Xian. She walked over and directly picked it off and threw it in the trash can. It's too bullying. Money is amazing, you can do whatever you want with it. Li Dongyang complained. Who are you talking about?